So what's your guys' energy drink of choice?
Energy drink would be Red Bull.
Red Bull? Give me a good reason why, though.
They taste the best.
Reigns are better.
Reigns? No, they have that like synthetic taste to it, like plastic
listen.
or something.
I'm gonna one up all of you right now. The bucked up.
Bucked up drinks are
Bucked
good.
up
I'll
drinks.
give you that. But
Wait,
that's
they
only
have-
for the gym. I'm talking about like get up in the morning,
Bucked
you're on your
up.
way to work,
Bucked
you need a
up.
drink.
Bucked up.
Shit, even give me the classic coffee, bro.
Classic coffee.
What about Reigns?
Reigns.
That's what he said.
Insane.
Oh,
Reigns are on top.
Oh, Reigns.
I remember
yeah.
the first time I had a Reign, I saw them at a gas station in Fresno, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. We don't have these. Now they're everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They took them away from Target though. Kind of mad.
Why? Oh, yeah, they did have them at Target, huh?
Yeah, I went on my break and they replaced it with Monsters. I was like,
What?
not
Dude,
the
Monsters
same.
are bad.
Monsters suck. Shout out to Monster, anyways. But they do suck.
You got that monster in you, man.
Shout out to
Sponsorship. We just said they suck.
I don't think we're gonna get a sponsorship. We talk shit about it.
Yeah, these
Nah,
drinks
but for
suck,
nah,
but hey.
but for reals, I'm not a big fan of Monster. I think
Nah,
Reigns pretty good.
Monster and Rockstar, same category.
Yep, for me.
Yeah, same category.
Who's your guys' like person you look up to, like sports wise? You guys have any like figures?
Lionel Messi, best
Whoa.
soccer player in the world. Bam.
Lionel Messi.
I know garbage cans can play soccer.
Wait, are you a Ronaldo fan?
Wait, are you
Are you a Ronaldo Glazer?
are you a
right now?
are you
Glazer?
are you
You're
a
a
Cristiano
Glazer, bro? Because only the Glazers hate on Messi, bro.
Are you a Cristiano Ronaldo sausage lover?
yo, come on, bro. Sausage lover.
No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to CR7. He is the best in the world. He's a goat.
But you
Bro.
look. You look.
Oh no. Speaking about goats. Let's get to the real goat. I did want to talk about.
Jalen Hurts.
No. The real goat. 11-3 signing on, guys. What's up? I do want to introduce the greatest of all time.
Greatest?
Yeah. It's not you.
My bad. I thought I was the goat here.
It's definitely not him.
It's not Tuesday.
I don't think he really needs an introduction. He is Tom Brady.
I don't think he's a goat, but that's just me.
I don't even know.
I'm a big Tom Brady hater.
I don't even
Haterade.
watch football, bro. So I
Haterade.
mean,
No. So I was scrolling through Instagram the other day, and I did watch this, but I kind of had to go back and look at some of the shorts they post or reels they posted on Instagram. So basically, he got inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame. So he got his red jacket.
is that a big deal?
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
in
deal.
football.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So it's not like the Football Hall of Fame, but it's the Patriots Hall of Fame. So they have like the Robert Kraft, the owner of the team. He has like his own Hall of Fame where he inducts like all the.
They'll get like big like statues of themselves.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, Tom definitely will, because I
Is it
mean,
made out of gold or?
It's like solid metal. I don't know what metal, but they'll be like it's like one of the memorable moments.
Got you.
yes,
cool.
Tom Brady definitly will. Oh yeah, by the way, his number 12 got retired, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they retired it. So I was like I said, I watched the ceremony on the stream on YouTube, but I was going through Instagram and I seen this clip right here, and I think I want to talk about it today because it's pretty powerful. I think what he says here. Obviously, I don't think it applies when it comes to about playing football, because I don't think most of us played football. Maybe David, did you play football?
Yeah, I played all 4 years.
Oh, there you go. What did you
damn.
play?
I played a lot of positions. I played receiver. I played tight end. I played.
Well, which one was your favorite? Like to play?
I like playing defense more. You get to be
Defense.
more like aggressive.
Get a tackle.
Let out that anger.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get that anger out, huh? No, but it's more so what he says here that I really wanted to talk about, because he says some pretty interesting stuff here. So if we want, let's take a look at it, and then we'll go over what he says.
I would encourage everyone to play football for the simple reason that it is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach. and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2 days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself, because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity, and that team accomplishment far exceeds anyone's individual goals. To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. If you look at all my teammates here tonight, it would be impossible to find better examples of men who embody that work ethic, integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life.
Yeah, so pretty powerful words there, right? From the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah.
Any thoughts, real quick?
I think he says a lot of things that stand true. That
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people could understand what he means about life being hard.
Yeah, so one thing I did want to talk about real quick is how he says teamwork, you know? You can't accomplish anything in life without that. I think that's very true. Like, in anything in life, you need people to accomplish, like, goals. Like, I'm not saying, like, you know how they say the self-made man, you know?
Yeah.
Self-made, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure that self-made person had to go through different people to get to point B, right? Or Z, you know, if he's trying to go from A to Z, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing in life comes easy.
Yeah.
And so, for example, me, I couldn't do this podcast without you guys, you know? I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to. I mean, I could, but if it wasn't without having a solid team like you guys, we would this project probably wouldn't have started gotten up off his feet and started rolling, you know? And that's the thing. In order to be successful in anything in life, I think you need a good, solid team in anything, you know, at your workplace, you know, in your relationships even. You're a team with your partner, you know?
Yeah.
It takes 2 and 2, you know? With your friendships, too, with close people around you, you know? In projects. In anything in life, you need people, you know? You can't do everything by yourself. I think it's ridiculous to sit here and say that you're going to be able to do everything and anything by yourself. I mean, you are, but you're going to need people in order to achieve that goal that you're trying to get to, you know?
Yeah, I feel like the final product with the help of people is going to be much greater. Because if you do it by yourself, like, yeah, you could finish whatever you want to finish, but it's not going to be as good.
It's kind of like you with your music, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Like, when I would write music, I would have a friend maybe shoot me a line here or two, or try to inspire me to come up with something new. So it's always good to have a team.
Like a solid team that is dry. Like you and, like, for example,
to motivate each other as well,
and to really get there, right? Like you, for example, like you and Just Germ, like, shout out to him.
shout out my homie.
Yeah, but like, for example, like, you guys, I'm sure you guys sacrificed a lot of weekends, a lot of nights. That's what I'm saying. Like, that stuff's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. Like, you guys, that's what I'm trying to get to. Like, it's hard. Like, anything, life is hard. But in order to succeed, you got to sacrifice. You got to be consistent. You got to be determined. I know for a fact Edwin was consistent and determined with his music. Maybe he hasn't achieved the success he wants just yet, but he's been working at it. He knows his craft. That's what I'm saying. Like, with me personally, you know, I have a few personal things that I could talk about where it's been hard, you know. Like, for example, you know, working out, that's hard. It's hard when you rather come home and chill out on your bed. Like, that shit's hard. Like, it's like you see all these people that are like, oh, I just want to just come home and just relax. And it's 100 degrees, especially in the area where we live in, you know?
Yeah.
It's like 100 degrees, like working at a factory job, getting off, like after being like scolded out by my manager, you know, getting written up, still going to the gym, you know, having long work hours, like maybe I didn't get enough sleep last night. All that stuff's hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still went and I still got it done. I didn't and I didn't tap out. I still went ahead and did it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, life is hard, but the decisions you make are ultimately gonna drive you towards your desired outcome or your goal. You know, you got to make sacrifices in life. That's what life's about. You know, not just taking the easy route. You know, the easy routes. Well, fuck it. You know, I'll just come home and chill out. You know.
Yeah, the easy route is just I'll do it tomorrow.
Exactly, procrastination.
Exactly. That stuff's easy. It's easy to just say I don't want to do it, or I already did this. I did enough. I'll do the rest tomorrow. But it's gonna be the same result. You got to keep at it what you're doing every single day.
Yeah, I think half of the job is just showing up. Showing up is half of it.
That's already half of it.
If you're already gonna show up, you know, half the job is done.
Yeah, you gotta have that champion mentality, right?
Yeah.
That champion mentality.
I think he kind of brings up like doing something that you don't want to do also as kind of like a way to prove it. Because like he uses football as an example because of course his career is NFL and whatnot, but doing something that like pushes you out of your comfort zone allows you to grow more than doing things that just make you comfortable. Like if I was to sit home every day and just play games and whatnot like I used to because that's comfortable, it's not like pushing myself out of any boundaries, just chilling at home, you're not going to really grow as you would like going out and doing stuff. Like for me personally, like as of recently after high school, I kind of switched my whole life around. I've tried to like push out of my comfort zone as much as possible, doing things that are like different for myself, like working out. That was a big one. It was really hard at first to stay consistent because like when you first start working out, it's really easy for like the first week or two because you got to like build up.
Yeah.
You get that first workout and you get a pump and you're like, man, I feel great. Like this is amazing. And then you start watching all these videos on it and everything, and then that hype dies down. It's like it's not as fun as it used to be, especially like for myself because I worked out alone, so I didn't really have like that person to like bounce off of.
Yeah.
I feel like having somebody to bounce off of, it like allows it to go on longer. But when you're doing it alone, I feel like that's the real challenge, and that was kind of like not like a sneak peek, I guess, of like what was to come. It was like foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I feel like for myself, just with the things I had going on after that, the next couple of years after high school, I went through some challenges where I had to learn to be okay with myself just alone.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like working out and like just going out and hanging out with people and whatnot. It allowed me to grow on myself. I used to have like really bad insecurities about myself, like the way I look and whatnot. Half the reason I'm not on camera right now, but
that's not the real reason, but
Bro, you're hella yoked, bro. I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
real
But
reason
I
is because
just-
he is a camera.
I appreciate like what I did for myself, because I feel like if I never went and worked out at the gym and pushed myself out of that comfort zone, I probably would be in the same boat as I was a couple of years ago.
you know what? That brings up something else. You kind of spark something else. Like, is it me? Like, I don't want to generalize, but is it me, or is it like we're all kind of within the bubble of close generations? Obviously, I'm the oldest one, but like my generation, your guys' generation, and his is kind of like, is it me, or is it like everybody tends to like be afraid of the world? Like they want to stay indoors, not get jobs, and like how are you ever supposed to go out in life and win? You know?
Yeah, I think it's just like social media doing that to us. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely social media.
It's definitely affecting our like social life for sure.
Yeah, I feel like for me, like with the workout stuff, like I expected results really fast, it was always like trying to go on YouTube and be like, all right, what's the fastest way to get like built like these guys?
It's the shortcuts.
And you start doing exactly what these guys are doing in their videos, and you're like, it's not working for me. Like, what's going on? But like, you learn over time. Like for me, it was kind of like I kept like ego lifting and whatnot. Like I just wanted to be there.
Yeah.
But you learn to like be comfortable with yourself.
Like Tom says, you learn discipline and consistency, right?
Yeah. Doing like the things you don't want to do. Like for me, if I have something I need to do that day, I start off my day with something I don't want to do. It kind of like puts me in the right mindset, if that makes sense.
That's a good habit.
That's a good habit, actually.
You start the day off doing something like, for example, this is kind of dumb. It's a stupid
No. I mean,
but like I started the day off. My mom wanted me to do dishes, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna just wake up in the morning. I'm gonna do dishes right off the bat. I started my day, did the dishes, and then I was like, out of the blue, I was like, all right, I'm like ready for my day. I'm gonna go out and like.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip for you guys out there that maybe you wake up on the wrong end of the bed.
Wrong side of the
wrong side, or the wrong end. You never know. Maybe start off doing something you don't want to do. You know, maybe something that'll get you in the right mindset for that day. You know. Yeah. But I know you had something to add real quick.
I just wanted to point out like how you mentioned about this project that we're doing together, and something that he pointed out too is how he mentioned his teammates is life is hard. But when you're going through things, like he mentioned, you can't do things by yourself. Like the product isn't going to be as good. It's really important to surround yourself with like-minded people, because we could have done this project, and let's say I just was somewhere else. I wanted to do something else. But you're like, no, we should do this together. I'd like to have you on here.
Yeah.
Edwin wants to do something else. Let's say he was just sticking to music. So the whole time we're here, it just wouldn't work because we all got something different we want to do. So it's just really important to have like-minded people, or like, Aid over there at the gym, like, if he has someone, he takes someone with him to the gym and they just don't want to be there, or they're like really quick to just have you say, nah, we could just go home and do something else. Like, it's really important to have. You
gotta have people that pretty much like keep it real.
And I feel like having a team, you like have motivation to just show up for them. You know.
Yeah, because even the days that like, even now, I still have days where I don't want to go to the gym. Yeah. Like either I wake up in a bad mood. I go through a bad day at work. I'm just feeling lazy. It's like those days matter the most. More so just to prove it to yourself that like, even though I don't want to do this, I'm doing it.
Those are the best workouts though, when you go into the gym and you don't want to do it.
Do you guys ever feel that way too, where like you don't want to go? And you end up going and you get the best workout ever.
That happens to me
every day.
Right?
That's
like I
like
don't want to be here, and then you end up having the best fucking
That's like when you're already leaving, you're about to get in your car and you're like, man, I can't believe I almost didn't come today. Like
exactly. Like for me, that's like the hardest part of my day. Is like I'll get back to my car, and because of my schedule, as it has been recently, it's changing now, but it's always like I worked morning and I get off around like 3 o'clock, and I'd be like, all right, to the gym I go. Like, I'd make sure I drove that same exact way every day. It was more so just like muscle memory, because I would be like, just doze off, and I'm just doing my schedule. And just because like I've done it for so long, it's just become like not easier to do, but just doable. It's not something that I like even question now. It's like, oh, am I gonna go to the gym today? No, it's like, all right, what am I gonna do after the gym? It's like already a part of my schedule.
Yeah, that's a really smart thing that you said right there. Is like, what am I gonna do after? Because you already
it
to your
put
schedule.
it in your mind.
At this point, it's not a hobby. It's part of your lifestyle.
And I also feel like another way you kind of like trick yourself out of stuff too. I've learned this the hard way. It's because like I used to always like tell people about what I want to do, like my plans. For example, like before I started working out, I was like, I want to get yoked. Like this is my goal. After high school, I'm gonna go straight to the gym. I'm gonna be there all the time. And because I told people that, I felt good about it already. It's like, oh, I told them I'm gonna do this. Like I feel good. Like I already did it.
Do you kind of feel like because you told them, you kind of have to hold yourself accountable to it?
I felt like I didn't. It's because I told them I felt like it was accomplished already. It's like I already felt good about saying I did it, and then I go and I'm like, I could take a day off. Like they won't even know. Like, and then that just repetitive cycle when I first started working out is what I did.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out. But then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna be more like to myself about stuff. It's why I took a break from like social media and whatnot, because I used to post every workout every day, but it just was draining, honestly, like
I
having
get
to
that
put
part.
myself out there.
Yeah.
And it's like to the point where, like, yeah, everybody knew what I was doing, but it got to the point where I just didn't want to do it anymore because I felt like I was doing it for them, not for myself.
Yeah.
So I started keeping everything to myself. I stopped posting my workouts and whatnot. I'll do an update every once in a while, but to this day, I haven't really felt the need to. And I feel like doing stuff without telling people, like, it feels better for myself.
Because you're doing it for yourself.
It's
Yeah,
like
you're
for
doing
the
it for
gym and
yourself,
whatnot,
yeah.
like, if people see me there, then that's cool. Like, they're like, oh, dang, like, you're still, like,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
surprises them. But, like, giving out all of your accomplishments before you do it, I feel like it's destructive, kind of, for, like, building the habit. Because, like, I tell people, like, goals. Like, when I got my car, that was another thing that was, like, at first, it was really disappointing. Because I got out of high school, I started working full-time. I was trying to save up for a Camaro. I really wanted a Camaro. Like,
Yeah.
I was looking everywhere.
Oh,
And-
you wanted a gas guzzler, huh?
You,
and it was
you
like,
weren't,
because
you
I
weren't
couldn't
considering
get
the
that,
army?
and I told people I was gonna get it. Like, I felt like disappointed in myself. I was like, I said I was gonna do something. I couldn't even stick up for what I wanted.
That's the thing
dude.
about like telling people your goals is like you talk about it, and I feel like that's like
the good part.
yeah, that's the good part, and it tricks you sort of like it kind of
It feels like you already
self-sabotages
did it,
yourself.
It
and
doesn't.
then you're
It
done.
doesn't. It doesn't trick you, and I'm gonna tell you why. It
Why
doesn't
doesn't
trick
it?
you because I read this in a book, and I'm gonna come back to this. So
Okay,
hold me
okay,
accountable.
okay.
But I don't want to say the wrong book title because I'm gonna look like an idiot. But I did read this in a book though, and it was exactly that. You tell people your plans, and you don't follow through with them because half of the reward is already in your mind that you already said it.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I
that's
agree.
just enough because the way that.
But do you eventually follow
that's what I
through?
meant though.
No,
That's exactly
no.
what I meant.
No.
So you don't follow
That's
through.
just enough for you right there
It's
because
the
you already said
satisfaction
you're
of
gonna do
people
it.
Yeah.
thinking that you're like
So it's-
accomplishing that.
Because you get people's reactions, and they always, "Oh man,
Hype
good
you
for
up.
you."
Yeah.
They
But it-
yeah, exactly.
But you haven't actually achieved what you're trying
No,
to
but
do.
see,
though.
that's what I'm trying to go into here is because in that not study, but in that, like, I guess it was a study, I guess, but it's like when people tell other people their plans, they already get that instant, what is it,
Gratification.
Instant
Yeah.
gratification.
They get that already just from telling them, so that's just enough for them to feel happy with just the fact that they said it, so they don't go through with it.
I don't
'Cause
live
they
my life
already
like
got-
that, bro. I feel like it's a fucking
Yeah.
lie, though.
I
Like,
mean, people are different though.
yeah. I
Like
don't-
for me, I feel like that's the way I was because I told people about
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
car,
Yeah,
and when I ended up not getting it, it kind of like woke me up to like, all right, why are you telling everybody you're gonna
Yeah,
do
you kinda-
something and you're not even doing the work for it? So I was like, all right. Then my next goal was getting the car I have currently.
so that's
And
why maybe you should work. You know how they say, like, work in the shadows or something like
what-
that.
what-
Just keep things to yourself.
Move in-
Sometimes you
move
gotta
in
keep
silence,
things
move in
to
silence,
yourself.
what,
yeah.
what did Lil
Move in
Wayne say?
silence.
He said, "Real G's move in silence like
Yeah,
the G's
move in
lasagna."
silence. Yeah, move in silence. Yeah, you got to move in silence, I guess.
Have
Yeah,
any
but-
of you guys ever felt burnt out?
100%.
all the time.
110%.
You're gonna feel burnt out, but
120%.
you can't give up. You know,
I mean,
That's when you really get tested.
that's when you really get tested.
Yeah.
Are you gonna continue the path forward, or are you gonna
But-
bitch up and tuck your tail between your legs, buddy?
so
When it comes to
I
that,
haven't-
think about it. How bad do you really want it?
well, at least for me,
Like how bad? Like when you were doing music, I know you stopped recently.
Yeah.
But how bad did you really want it? Like how bad did you
Dude,
want it?
I wanted it so bad. I would skip family time, family events, hanging out with my girlfriend, hanging out with. I cut all relationships if it wasn't something to do with music. Like my only friend that I had at the time was the person I was doing music with.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like it was to the point where I was obsessed about it every single day.
It's
where-
kind of like you got that new girlfriend type of feel.
Yeah, but it was also to prove to, I guess, the people in my past, like,
I doubted.
that
That doubted
me.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I feel like that's a good drive too, is because like back in high school, like when I did football, I wasn't the biggest. I was probably like one of the smallest guys on the team, size wise. But now, if I was to go back, it'd be a whole different story. But I kind of use that drive as like something to motivate myself, but motivation isn't ever always there. It's like motivation's nice while it's there, ride it till it goes away.
Like my thing with me personally, like I know I haven't really told you guys, but like I tell this a lot to other people in my life. Like for me personally, tears are your biggest teachers. They really are. Like they really are. Like I'm not sitting here like being a crybaby, but like for real, it's like you have a grown man has a personal moment to himself where, you know, maybe he's having a really difficult situation in his life and maybe he's got to let a tear out or two, you know? Yeah. I'm not saying sit here and be a crybaby and complain about life. No. I'm saying like literally you sit down, you have a moment to yourself. Tears are your biggest teachers, at least for me. Like one of the hardest fucking things that I ever went through, it was such bullshit, I remember, so at this time, I had just broken up with this girl. And I remember that I was still living there. She expected me to leave, dip the fuck out of the place, whatever. And I still remember this shit. It's just like, I hate to get a little more, you know, depressing and shit. But, so she tells me like, hey, I want you off the lease off the apartment. And I was like, damn, you know, like she really wants me to get out of here, you know? Mm-hmm. And I remember that walk from my apartment to that office. It was like the most depressing shit, you know what I mean? And I just felt like I was never going to get out of that. It's like you're stuck in that depressed moment, you know? It's like it was so difficult for me, like mentally, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like I was stuck in that moment. And then walking back after signing, you know, getting my name off of there, walking back. And I remember she like stopped me because our apartment was upstairs. I'll never forget it. She like stopped me and she like told me, she's like, are you okay? Like, are you all right? Like, why do you care? You don't even give a shit anymore, you know? Like, why are you even asking? You know, are you okay? Like the dumbest like question from a person that doesn't really care about you. But that's what I'm trying to get to is like, life is hard. You're gonna run into situations like that are depressing as fuck. You know, and that at that particular time, I didn't feel like I was ever gonna get out of that situation. It's like you're stuck in time and you're stuck in that moment, you know? Yeah. But realize that because I went through those tough situations, I am who I am today, and I would not change them. And I think a lot of people who have gone through a lot of those really dark moments in their life, depressed moments, they'll tell you the same thing. I'd rather go through it 1,000 times than not go through it at all, because who you come out being on the other side is a lot better than who you were, you know?
Yeah. That's one of the things that I had to learn too, like, is literally anything that happens to you or any situation that you're in, like, you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be there. There's always a learning lesson, and like no matter what you're doing, no matter what situation you're in, like you could wish things were different. You can think of 100 different ways this situation could have came out to be, but the truth is like this is exactly what was supposed to happen to you.
The universe doesn't put you where you want to be; it puts you where you need to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though, is a lot of people, they just don't take the time to realize that, because it takes time to realize that. Like, time is the healing factor.
I feel like that's where the alone time comes in. Is you gotta like deal with yourself, because like of course you could break up with somebody and just go find a fling and go right back into it, but
because that's easy.
That's easy.
That's easy.
The real hard part is like, it's specifically talking about a breakup right now. The real hard part is being single, doing the hard work, building yourself mentally, you know, actually going out there, you know, building your mental, you know, growing, you know, spiritually, emotionally, you know, all that, physically, all that, really growing as a person. Yeah. If you try to like just, you know, instantly cover it up and go somewhere else and try to hop to the next relationship, I don't think it's going to really work, you know, if we're specifically talking about relationships, you know? Yeah. It's not really going to work.
Like, it might work temporarily, like for your own feelings,
but
like
it's like a Tylenol pill. It's going to leave you it's going to give you a small relief, you know? A little bit. Small relief.
I think the hardest part, at least for me, was like letting go of music, because when I stopped, I felt burnt out. I felt like that I was wasting time. Every single day writing music, every single day obsessing about it, just to the point where it was like deteriorating my health. Like I would lose sleep. I would go to work with 3-4 hours of sleep. It was just bad for me mentally.
The way you trade your music is like the way I trade probably like every relationship I've been in. It's like I gave my effort all in.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like one of my biggest issues too.
But the thing is, I don't think it's a bad thing to give yourself all in. It's not, because that's the way you learn. That's the way you learn. Yeah. I'll pose a real quick question to you, going back to your music though. But because you felt burnt out, like I guess I want to give you like a reflection. Do you think it was really a waste of time, considering that you were doing something? I guess you're saying you wasted time, right?
What I mean is like,
or you sacrificed a lot of time,
right? In the grand scheme of things, I wasted the time I could have spent with my family. Like, I think to me, now that I'm older, I kind of like, I guess I realized it too late. Like, family is more important than your passion. But
I guess what I'm trying to pose this question, kind of like, I want to say, even though you wasted all that time and you're saying, yeah, I should have spent it with family, do you think it was really a waste of time? Because at that point in your life, you were passionate about it. You loved it.
Yes. I am just kind of
like you're reflecting back on it now, but like in the moment,
I loved it. I enjoyed every second. It was.
Do you think that taught you something meaningful though? Like all that time you spent doing your craft?
Oh yeah, it definitely taught me discipline. It taught me to really put everything into something I really
it made you a better person now.
It definitely made me a better person now, but I feel like at the time it's just, I wish I would have took maybe a day or two to really think, like put my time into at least relationships and
family.
Yeah, family,
So like maybe really, I guess what you're trying to say is like dabble into your passion, but don't make it your entire life. Have time for others.
Don't make it your entire personality, and
then you're not passionate about it.
Oh
man, there's just I feel like
there's a fine line.
There's a fine line. You have to find a balance.
But the thing is here. Let me say something real quick though. With that, Tom Brady, for example, because this goes back to him. Mm-hmm. So he dedicated over 20 plus years of playing in the NFL, and his wife divorced him because he wasn't willing to retire at the moment that she wanted him to retire. Like this man went and still, like, he left the Pats and he went to go play with the Tampa Bay back in
came out of retirement.
Yeah. So like she did not, like, she divorced him and everything. And you know what's fucked up? She was doing this man dirty. She was over there with gym instructor, or taekwondo instructor, or whatever.
Cheating? She was cheating?
Yeah, she was cheating on this fool.
Oh damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's dirty, bro. Like,
damn.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, do you feel like, for example, going back to what you were saying with family, if you neglect your family, or for example, like Tom Brady's case, if you neglect your partner, do you feel like they can go in off and maybe, did they really support you? Did they really, if they were willing to betray you, like that?
I mean, as for friends, I felt like they couldn't understand because they didn't have
that passion
for, anything, I guess. Yeah. But for my girlfriend, she held it down. Like, I'll definitely talk about my partner. She understood.
She fucked with your love for music then.
No, yeah, it was to the point where like I would hang out with her a few hours and she would know, okay, like it's about that time he's gonna go write music. Like, she was so supportive. Like, so grateful for that.
Damn you, Giselle. Giselle. You weren't fucking supportive for Tom. You were supportive for like 20 years and then you cheated on, or like, well, actually they weren't married 20 years, but you get the point. They were together for a long time and then she decided to cheat on him. That's fucked.
And also back to the family thing, I felt like I'm the oldest out of, my siblings.
Yeah.
So I felt like I'm not making any income off my passion, which is something completely different, right? But it's to the point where like I want to support my family. I want to help them.
You want to be that person that your
that provides.
That provides, exactly. And how can I be that person if I'm just in my own little world writing music?
It takes a combination of everything to really.
Yes, but it was, man, dude. Like over a decade, I was doing this for like. I mean, sometimes it's okay to kind of let go of maybe your dreams and. In a way, I'm not saying like
completely let go.
Completely let go, but just be more to reality, like bring reality back.
Like
Be
if
more
you
realistic.
Because part of reality is also making money, being there for your family, being a man.
Yes.
You know,
so if your passion is to make YouTube videos or your passion is to make any kind of content, like make time for it. But if you're not making any money off of it, guess what, baby bro? You're gonna have to go work that 9 to 5.
Exactly.
You gotta pay the bills. They ain't gonna pay themselves.
No, they're not.
So you gotta go over there and do what you gotta do. Then once you come home, yeah, you're tired. Oh, my feet hurt. Oh, this, oh, that. Guess what? Now that's where adversity is telling you. Like in the back of your mind, you're saying, I'm tired. I just got out of work. I don't feel like sitting down and editing. Oh, I don't feel like sitting down and recording it. I'm not in the mood for it. Well, guess what? Maybe if you make that sacrifice, even though your feet hurt, and because you want to be a baby girl and sit on the couch instead, why don't you get up off your ass and actually do something, do the content, do what you need to do, and maybe eventually it'll start making money. Maybe you don't got to go to that 9 to 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, too, I also feel like I felt burnt out because I was doing a lot of stuff at the same time. Oh, I mean, working a 9 to 5 is one. Going to the gym every day is one. Having a podcast. Going to school. And doing music. So
we were doing the podcast at that time.
I was tackling at once. So
we were doing the other podcast at that time. Yeah, I remember
Maybe
that.
another thing that I'm realizing right now is I tackle too many things at once. Maybe I should have just...
You spread yourself too thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just didn't put...
It's just learning to be able to manage the time that you do have correctly.
Like Tom definitely spent 20 years in the NFL, and that's all he had a mind for. That's why he's the greatest of all time.
That's why he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, that man just dedicated himself to throwing football for over 20 years, you know, so... Yeah, when you got time like that to just focus on one specific thing, you're not really spread too thin, so you're just like tackling it head on, giving all your focus and energy.
All, then it's just
like
that one
it just depends on what your end goal is. Because if your goal is to be the GOAT of the NFL, then you got to make sacrifices like that, like he did.
Yeah.
He probably put down his family time and whatnot to be the best.
Yeah.
See, but
and if that's what means more to him in the end of the day, then that's what.
I feel like I lose a little respect for the GOATs. I mean, they're GOATs for specific reason, right? For that main reason is they made all these sacrifices.
So real quick,
like, do their family understand? Like, do their family
maybe not. But here's a quick question though regarding GOATs. Do you think, like in Tom's case, and maybe other GOATs that you can think of, like maybe in music, or I don't know, whatever you may think comes to mind, any other greatest of all times, do you think, or like Michael Jordan too, I guess that came to mind too, but do you think, because Tom says, you don't need talent, it's all about consistency. Do you think it's more about talent or more consistency, or a combination of both? Because for me, I feel like personally, like Tom, in the beginning, at least, because I love the Pats. I'm diehard. I've gone back and watched all the Super Bowls. I've done my research and my homework on the Patriots dynasty. And the first 3, I feel like it was him, but the later 3 was more him because of his talent. So going back to the original question, do you think like the people who become greats like at his level, do you think it's because of consistency or talent or a combination of both?
I feel like you answered your own question.
Yeah, I think it's definitely both.
Well, I answered it in like what I think about Tom and his.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like,
as far as Tom,
I think it's definitely hard work.
Hard work?
Hard work gets you to be talented, I think, because there's also a separation between the people that are very talented but don't put in the work, and they don't get anywhere. So I feel like hard work is what pushes you to be really great, and then consistency is what gets you there for sure.
Yeah, because I feel like if someone's untalented but they still put in more work than this guy that's super talented, you're gonna see the difference.
You're gonna see the difference.
And
it might take a little longer to get there for that person, but he'll at least finish the job.
Yeah. And I'd rather have somebody that's putting more work in than someone that's more talented.
Yeah, because you could respect that more.
It's like you see the discipline, and I think discipline's worth more than talent.
Why is that?
I feel like someone that's disciplined is someone that's like had to deal with that challenge with themselves and they overcame it.
because talent just comes natural to the person. So they
talent, someone could be good at drawing, but if this guy that's been drawing for like
they can
5 hours a day for like 2 years straight, he's gonna put out work that's more consistent, that's more relevant than that guy that's talented that does like one drawing every once a year.
The talented person can afford to be a little lazy, I guess. Afford it. Not saying that you should be lazy, but they can afford it. But the consistent person, they gotta keep being consistent and practicing until they get it down. Because the person that's talented, they're just gonna they just can naturally do it, you know?
Just the comparison, like for the talented person, to bring it back to football, is like a lot of people ask, like, how do these field goal kickers miss a 10-yard field goal?
Did you do it, motherfucker?
And then, but then like they got like, you know, with the social media now, they'll go into these training camps and they'll go ask the players. They're like, how like everyone wants to know how does he miss a field goal from like 10 yards away, but he can make them from like 40? They're like, well, the kicker, he's just naturally talented. He's not out here practicing with us. He goes out there, kicks the ball, and goes back to sit on the bench. Like, he's not out here practicing like we are.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to bring it back to like music, at least from my experience. Yeah. Like my friend, I had a friend or two that could really freestyle. Like, and I would think that's like that takes talent to freestyle on the top of your head.
Which one was it?
It was Jeremy.
Oh, there you go.
Jeremy.
Okay.
Fucking bar up anything. But
shout out to him.
But point is, for me, it was like I couldn't really freestyle. I could not. So that would kind of drive me to be like, all right, man, I got to write a better song than him. Next writing session, I got to write a better song. I got to write a better verse. I got to write. And it would drive me to the point where like I would even help him out sometimes in his verses, his choruses.
So it was kind of like you were competing with him, but you weren't necessarily competing with him because it was driving you to be better, a better writer, and a better maybe dabble into more freestyling as well.
Yeah, I mean, I still wasn't very good at it, but I mean, I tried. You know, I tried, and I did practice, put in a lot of hours. And I don't know, I guess I could freestyle for like a minute if I really wanted to. But
that's the importance of having like-minded individuals around you, right?
So, yeah, it goes back to that.
It goes back to that. So, yeah, it's just having that champion mentality, you know? Champion mentality.
Just showing up for yourself, but also for them. If you have a team, it's like, it'll motivate you just to do better for them, you know?
Yeah, and I think going back to Tom is, that's what makes him the greatest of all time, you know? He wasn't about him. Like, yeah, he knew. I'm pretty sure in his mind, he probably knew. Like, he doesn't say it. He's very humble about his responses because I've seen a lot of his interviews, but he doesn't really make it all about him. Like, I'm sure in his mind, he knows he's like, I'm the greatest.
That's just part of his ego, though.
Yeah, it's part of his ego. Like,
put that aside.
Like, I'm pretty sure he tells us, like, I can smack all these fools in the NFL. Like, I beat everybody's ass. Like, look at my record. You know what I mean? But he, you know, I think it's important also to have that humility in life as well, right? Like, even though you're winning, you're taking the dubs. Don't be like Wes and like Wes Watson being all arrogant, like ripped, rich, rare, and receding. Yeah. But if you're taking all these dubs, I think all these W's in life, I think it's important to have that humility as well. Like, yeah, maybe you have that ethical ego, I guess, where you're telling yourself like, fuck yeah, like I'm winning, like, you know, I'm fucking getting up at this time, going to the gym, I'm putting out this project, I'm making money here, I'm doing this, life's great, me and my girl are doing fine, you know, et cetera, but I think it's also good to have that humility, you know what I mean, and really take a step back, you know.
Yeah, not like put people down who aren't doing the same as you.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe motivate them to do as much as you.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe motivate them. See, maybe it's someone personally that you may know, like your brother, your sister, or your close friends or something. Maybe you guys have something in common, and maybe it's just video games. But especially for the younger crowd, like you guys like to play a lot of video games. So,
David.
Yeah. So like maybe David, for example, I'll just use him as an example. He likes to play a lot of video games, and his buddy, you know, Tom, likes to play video games as well. But David said, "Hey, Tom, I'm not gonna play today because I'm gonna go to I don't know. I'm gonna start a new class at my junior college because I want to be a web designer." Yeah. And Tom says, why? Like, screw that. Let's just play a video game. Like, this and that. But it's like,
come on, grind with the boys.
grind with the boys, you know. Come on, let's grind
put
it.
in those hours.
Yeah, just put in those hours. But the thing is, like, you gotta know your responsibilities. You know what I mean? Like, really, if you're really trying to get somewhere in life, you gotta say, you know, I can't do that right now. I gotta make time for what's important. You know?
Yeah, it's the difference between the people that want it and people that don't.
Exactly.
If you don't, you're all right. I'll just do my class tomorrow. I'll go sign up tomorrow.
Exactly. Back to procrastination. Exactly.
Because it's easy to do that. It's easy to say no. It's easy to just say, I'm gonna do that instead. I'll start tomorrow.
If you want an easy life, you gotta do the hard things.
Yeah, true. True.
Just a quick example.
That's true.
A few weeks ago, I was working overtime like every day, like trying to put in those hours, working an extra day. And one of my coworkers, he doesn't work out. And I told him, I remember the last day I worked overtime that week. I was like, yeah, I'm not coming in over tomorrow because I miss working out. He's like, oh man, like just do it like next week. Just start fresh on Monday. I was like, no, bro. Like I already sacrificed 3 to 4 days to do this overtime. I want to go back to working out. Like, I'm not gonna start fresh on Monday. Like,
and that's the thing. Like, you want to negotiate with yourself.
yeah.
Like, I'll just wait till like Monday or something.
Like,
you can't. You want to sit here and negotiate about everything that would be good for you.
Yeah.
About everything that would be good for you. But yet you negotiate and say, oh, no, I'll just do it tomorrow. Oh, no, I'd rather just fucking go to the club tonight instead of getting up early, you know, to go to class.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd rather go out with the boys, you know, and do this or do that.
for me, it was like a treat. I was like, I deserve this. I put in all these hours. I deserve to go back tomorrow. Like, I deserve it.
That's kind of how I feel when I watch, like, any type of YouTube video, like I don't know, like I put on like Greg or Jeff Nippert or whatever, and I watch some of their videos and shit, and I start like seeing like what they're explaining or what they're talking about. I'm like, bro, I want to go to the gym now and shit. Right? Like, it's weird. It's like, I want to fucking go work out now.
On my res days,
you got the motivational videos on. You're like,
dude, yeah. On my res days, at least, I scroll a lot on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'll be seeing videos of people working out, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go work out right now. Fuck this. I know I'm sitting down, but I'm gonna get up.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, life's hard, guys. Life can be hard. It can have its challenges.
Yeah.
But you know, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it when life comes knocking at your doorstep? How are you gonna act? Are you gonna bitch up? Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna say life's not fair? I mean, it isn't. I'll agree with you.
It's not. It might as well be unfair, but you doing something about it because it's going to be unfair regardless.
Exactly. Life isn't fair. I'll agree with you if you come to my door and tell me, hey, life isn't fair. Okay. What are you going to do about it? Life ain't fair. What the fuck are you going to do about it? How are you going to act? Mental fortitude.
What you should do is just bounce back. Big Sean said it. Bounce back.
Like, no, bring Big Sean.
Real quick. I just want to say, like, mental fortitude, you got to build it. So about a year ago, I was going through some horrible health issues. Really bad. I couldn't even drive. Let's just put it like that. Like, it was hard for me to drive. So I would just go from work to home. That's it. Work to home. I hardly went out. I hardly went anywhere. I was a recluse in my room. It was like I was in prison for a year. Like, my health just deteriorating, my body going, my body not being where I wanted it to be, Everything it just felt like the world was ending for me personally. Mm-hmm. And so, guess what I told myself mentally? I told myself, everything will pass. Everything, all this will pass. Everything's gonna pass, and you're gonna be all right. And even though I wasn't doing the physical reps, I was doing the mental reps every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And eventually, things did get better. I got out of my room. I started going places. I started driving more. Started I finally went back to the gym. That's just hard, guys. That's just super hard to watch your health deteriorate. You don't know how hard that is. You should be grateful. Be fucking grateful. Don't be a bitch and stay at home and just, be in your room and locked up like a little, like you're in prison. That shit, don't do that shit to yourself.
During that time, did you try to stay positive? Did you
Definitely.
you know that it will take some time for it to, I guess, heal?
Yeah, I knew deep down I had to be strong, and I knew that if I let myself get to that place where like, I felt like my life was gonna end. I felt like I wasn't ever gonna get out of that situation. I felt like my health wasn't ever gonna get better. If I let myself get there, I knew that, maybe I wasn't gonna get out of it.
What's something that helped you in that time?
Definitely like looking back at everything that I had gone through up until that point. Like even you and me, like I know it's a little, we won't get deep into it, but me and you had a rocky relationship in the past. And so I thought back to everything I had gone through with you, with everybody in my life. And I said to myself, dude, you've already beat a lot of shit. And that's nothing compared to what some people are going out there. I like to put my life into perspective. Like I've had a lot of tough situations, but I like to put my life into perspective. And I kept telling myself, you know what? If I can't do the physical reps, I'm going to do the fucking mental reps. And I'm going to fucking do the little that I can. So little things I would personally do, I started driving a little bit more. From here to the gas station. From here to from out of work, from straight coming home to work, I would drive to
take the long way home.
Yeah, take the long way home. I started doing little things. I would tell myself, like I would be told like, when are you gonna get out? When are you gonna come back to the gym? I would be always being told that. I said, you know what? I can't continue to do this. I gotta be proactive about my health, and I gotta do something about it, no matter how scared I am. And so I eventually went back to the gym. Things started getting better. Things have been better. And so I'm grateful for that experience. But that's what I'm trying to get to is hear people is don't do that to yourselves. Don't lock yourself in your room. Don't lock yourself anywhere. It's not good for you. Mental fortitude is what's going to help you, going to get you through those, like especially those difficult situations.
Don't be stuck where you're at.
Yeah.
Like he said, the little details, the little things are going to push you to, be better.
So take the long road home, the long way home instead of taking the shortcut home,
And the past is the past. You can't change it now. You could change yourself in the present to be better.
Exactly.
You got to overcome like the struggles you go through in like the most positive way possible.
Yeah.
So like, for example, I'm going through some stuff, but instead of staying home and isolating, I'm trying to like do my best to put myself out there. Just because like, what's it gonna do if I stay at home all day, don't go to the gym, don't do anything?
It doesn't.
It's just gonna bring myself down even
just
more.
Rot away.
Yeah, you're not really gonna learn anything from that. You're not really gonna grow from that. You're
You
just
gotta keep putting yourself out there and keep moving forward.
Something that helped me from getting out of those type of situations of just like, what am I supposed to do? I feel stuck, but it's like, like one of my old friends that told me that really just kind of changed my perspective on everything. It's like, what can you do? Like, why am I just at home? Why do I feel like I'm not doing enough? Like, okay, like what can you do? You can start by like, sir, just to take the long way home. You can start by, like Edwin said, just showing up, just starting something or asking yourself, what can you do? You'll sit there and you'll realize that there's a lot of things that you can be doing or that are a lot easier than to just ask yourself, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like just starting. You just got to do something.
I like that. What can you do? Yeah, that's
because that's what you're fully in control of doing. Because a lot of the times people feel stuck because these things happen to them, and a lot of people have yet to accept that it's supposed to happen to them.
It's like, why is the world doing this to me when it's like you could have done something differently?
Don't have that victim mentality.
It's not gonna get you anywhere.
Yeah, but I think we had a pretty good discussion today, guys. I don't know, before we take off from here, if you guys want to throw anything in there before we get out of here, because we had a little bit of emotional breakdown right here at the end. But I like it. I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
Definitely, I'm going to steal Junior's line. just ask yourself, what can you do? You know.
And if you did everything you could, no, you didn't.
You're lying.
You're lying to yourself.
I would say like to pretty much end it with Tom. What Tom said, having that champion mentality. Mm-hmm. I like that.
We are all champions.
Champions. Yeah.
Life's hard. Be harder.
Yeah.
No, damn.
Talking about that honey pack, huh?
Rhino pills.
Nah, but if you guys enjoyed what you guys heard here today, please hit that subscribe button, give us a like, share it. It definitely helps us out. Like Tom would say, let's fucking go. Woo. 11 signing off.
Weekend, I'm working overtime. I got 0 life outside this room. I'm in. I'm too disciplined. I gotta make it in. Squeeze myself into that playlist. My girl for things that I'm playing her with other women. Well, okay then. I'ma tell the truth. There's another bad bitch I pursue. Her name's Amelia. Short for a million. But don't worry, love with crazy threesome is in store for us. Damn.